Hey guys, so this is Mr. DePuma with my first ever virtual extra help session. I do apologize. I know that grammar is hard, and I know that it's even harder when we have to do it online. So I'm hoping that this video is going to be helpful to all of you. I'm going to do it a little different from my other videos. This is an interactive whiteboard, so I can move things around and hopefully do a better job of explaining things. I won't be locked into more limited features. So we are looking at reflexive verbs, and the first question that we have to ask is, what is a reflexive verb? So a reflexive verb is when the person doing the action, remember the action is the verb, so when the person is doing the action, they are also receiving the action being done. So if we take a look at some examples, I brush my teeth. I am the person doing the action. The action is brushing my teeth. And because it is my teeth, right, they're inside my head, I am receiving the brushing. And that is what makes it reflexive. I comb my hair. Again, I am doing the action. I am combing is the action, and my hair, that is part of my body. So again, it is being done to me. It is reflexive. Last one, I wash. I am washing, that's the verb. I am washing what? My hands. I'm not washing someone else's hands. I am not washing an object like a car. So that is reflexive verbs in English. In Italian, we have reflexive verbs. It's basically a normal verb that adds the ending si. So let me just change this to yellow here. So we see si here is the ending. So lavare, we know lavare, it's a regular are verb. It means to wash. But when I have that si ending added to the end, I drop that e and I'm adding si instead. It's still an AR verb, but it has that SI ending. That just means that it's to wash oneself. It's weird. We don't really say oneself in English, but it means that the person doing the action is doing it to themselves. So, mettere, here we have another regular ERE verb. It means to put. We know that. We know that from the food unit. Right? We put the glass on the table. We put the fork on the table. Io metto la forchetta sulla tavola. But when I drop that final E and put an SI ending at the end, it now means to put on oneself. Like I put my hat on myself. I put my jacket on myself. I put my socks on myself. Similar to vestire, vestire means to dress. It is a regular IRE verb ending. But when I take off that final E and add the SI ending, it now not means to dress, but it means to dress oneself. Okay, so the person doing it, I can dress a baby, that would be vestire. I can dress a doll, that would be vestire. I can dress my dog, that would be vestire. But when it's going back to myself, then it's vestirsi. Okay, let's take a look now at how to conjugate these. When we conjugate reflexive verbs, let's use green, we need a reflexive pronoun and a regular conjugated ending. So the SI that we have on a verb, let's take lavarsi. The SI ending, the first step is that we drop off that SI ending and we move it to the front and it becomes a reflexive pronoun. The reflexive pronouns, if I'm talking about myself, it's going to be me. Yourself, T. Himself or herself, si. Ourselves, chi. Yourselves, vi. And themselves, si. So now we have mi, ti, si, chi, vi, si. Those go in front of the verb conjugation. So I have lavar-si, I drop off that si, and now when I conjugate it, I'm going to put it in front. Let's just keep it simple. Let's say I wanted to say, I wash myself. This is the example I used in my original video. So if I have io, and I drop off the si, for an io, I'm going to be doing it to myself. So I put me. Now I'm going to conjugate lavare like it's a normal ARE ending. So I take off the AR, and that leaves me with the root lav. And what is my ARE ending for EO? It's right there, O. Io mi lavo. That is why it is so incredibly important that you remember the verb conjugation endings that we learned in 7th grade. We did them again in the education unit, in the house and home unit, in the food unit, in the community and neighborhood unit, the family unit. We've used these over and over and over again. Some of us have not memorized these completely. If you haven't memorized them yet, now is the time. You know, Mrs. Menacos and I aren't lying when we say these things are going to come back, and here they are again. So if you haven't learned these endings, you have 2 things that you need to learn, because when we do reflexive verbs, it's 2 steps: putting the right reflexive pronoun and putting the right ending. So let's take a look at one more example. Okay, let's use the verb vestirse this time. Okay, and this time let's use the 2 conjugations. So if I'm saying you dress yourself, well, I have the pronoun to. I'm going to take off the si ending, and now I need to figure out for to, what's my reflexive pronoun? Well, the reflexive pronoun is T, right? Yourself. You're doing it to yourself. So to T, and now I'm going to conjugate vestire like it's a normal IRE verb. I take off the IR ending. That leaves me with vest. And what is the new ending for an IRE verb in the to form? I go over, IRE column, it's an I. So the way you say you dress yourself is tu ti vesti. Okay. Now, if you have your worksheet or your notes, the very first thing I gave you, the Monday assignment with all the vocab lists, at the very bottom it says practice. So these are the examples from the practice. I want to go through each one of these with you to make sure that you understand how to do it. So let's take a look at tu alzarsi first. Tu alzarsi in English, we should put the English meaning. So in English, here we are, it means you get yourself up. That's what we want to say. So how do we say that in Italian? Let's do the Italian in red. So in Italian, I have two. Hey, it didn't go red. Let's see. There we are. I'm going to first take off that SI ending. Do you remember what the pronoun's going to be for it? The pronoun for two is T. All right, so we're going to go back and put in our T. Now that has essentially gotten rid of the SI, and I'm left with a normal ARE verb. So I look at that AR, and for the to form, to ARE, the ending is going to be I. So the way that I say you get yourself up is tu ti alzi, because we're dropping that AR and adding the right ending. So you get yourself up is tu ti alzi. Now let's take a look at Paolo. We have Paolo farsi il bagno. That's Paolo takes a bath. So let's write that down. Paolo takes a bath. Or actually, Paolo bathes himself. Okay. Now, let's change that to blue. Keep it consistent. There we go. Okay, so we have Paolo bathes himself. Now, we want to put a text box. Hopefully that comes out red. Paolo is the person doing the action. Is Paolo I? Is it you? Is it he? Is it she? Is it we? Is it you all? Or is it they? If you said that Paolo is a he, you are correct. So we would put Louis. Now, the first thing we do is take off the SI ending. So when I take off the SI ending, I'm now going to put a reflexive pronoun. What is my reflexive pronoun for Louis? It's si. So now I'm going to do Louis si. Now remember, fare is an irregular verb. In the video that I originally posted, I gave you all of the conjugations for fare. Fortunately, it kind of follows a similar pattern for ARE verbs, and we get rid of the AR, and we get fa. So Louis si fa il bagno, and that means Paolo, he bathes himself. Next, let's take a look at Giovanna ed io spazzolarsi I denti. Okay, we don't just have Giovanna and we don't just have io. Giovanna and I. When it's someone else plus me, we get, I hope you said we. So real quick, let's put this down. Giovanna and I, we brush our teeth. Okay. So, because it's we, what's my regular subject pronoun going to be? Is it io? Is it tu? Is it lui, lei? Is it noi, voi, or loro? Hopefully you said noi. Now, we are going to brush ourselves, right? So when it's ourselves, I need to take off the SI ending, and I'm going to replace it with a subject, with a reflexive verb pronoun right after the subject pronoun. What is our reflexive pronoun to mean ourselves? Let's go back to our chart. By the way, if you want to screenshot this somehow or pause the video and copy down this chart, this is the key to doing reflexive verbs. So this screen right here is going to want to be the screen that you make sure that you have down in your notes. So I would definitely pause the video if you haven't gotten this down yet and do that. So to go back to our example, for we, for noi, we're going to use ci, ourselves. So we're going to go back, put in the ci. Now we conjugate spazzolare like a normal ARE verb. I get rid of the AR ending. That gives me the root spazzol. And what's my ending for noi? Well, let's go back to the chart. ARE ending for noi, it's iamo. So noi ci spazzoliamo. And then we'll add in I denti, the teeth. We brush our teeth. Okay. Io tagliarsi I capelli. I cut my own hair. First of all, I do not recommend that anybody cuts their own hair because that's probably not a great idea. I cut my own hair. Okay. Let's take a look. We have EO. EO is probably the easiest one. When we take off the SI ending, we're going to replace it with a reflexive pronoun. What is the reflexive pronoun for EO? Let's go back. EO, I'm doing it. I'm doing it to myself. Myself in Italian is me. So io, me, and now I have tagliar as a regular ARE ending. So ARE ending for io, my new ending is going to be O. So I drop off that AR, and that leaves me with the root, tagli, and I add an O, taglio. Io mi taglio. And we'll finish it off with I capelli. I cut my own hair. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Lei vestirsi. She dresses herself. She dresses herself. How would we say she dresses herself in Italian? Well, what's the first thing we're going to do? We need to figure out what is the reflexive pronoun for she. So let's go back over to our chart, and we see that it is lei, herself, si. So let's do lei, take off that SI ending, move it towards the front, SI. And we have vestire as a normal IRE. We take off that IR. That leaves me with the root vest. And now what is our new ending going to be for she? I go over, I see lei for an IRE ending is going to be E. So lei si veste. She dresses herself. And now again, we have fare. He takes a bath. This is the exact same thing as Paolo takes a bath. So let's just go through it. This way we know that we got it. So lui is he bathes himself. Okay. So first thing we said we do. Let's put down the lui. We're taking off the SI ending, and that comes to the front. Lui, and what is the reflexive pronoun for Louis? It's si, because he's doing it to himself. So we come here, Louis, si. Now we're going to conjugate fare, and we know fare is irregular, but it follows the ARE pattern for the he, she form, which is fa. Louis, we had the A, fa. Louis si fa il bagno. And that means he bathes himself. And lastly, voi farsi male. You all get injured, or you all injure yourselves. So, again, we're going to just put the English translation, which is you all injure yourselves. Okay. So we're going to do the text now. Okay, so we have voi, which means you all. Now we want to take off that SI ending. And what is the reflexive pronoun for voi? We're going to go over, and it is vi. So voi, vi, and fare, we're going to take off the AR. And what is the ending? For voi in the are form, voi fate. So voi vi fate. And that means fate male, you all injure yourselves. Hopefully, this has made it a little bit clearer on how you conjugate reflexive verbs. Following this simple pattern of taking off the SI ending, choosing the right reflexive pronoun, and then conjugating the verb as if it was normal with the right verb ending, that is how you conjugate reflexive verbs. If you're still confused, please shoot me an email and we'll arrange for a little extra help beyond this video. I hope you guys are safe and well. I miss you guys. I think about you every day. And please continue to do your best. I know you are.